The signs are quite telling. Europe has officially entered 2 quarters of contraction. That means a minimum of 6 more months of the economy continuing its freefall. To make matters worse, the European Commission believes that inflation hasn't peaked yet. Mind you, inflation in the eurozone has already reached a record high of 10.7% in October, according to Eurostat's data from last month. The European Commission isn't optimistic about this figure coming down anytime soon. What does all of this mean? It means do not expect your steep cost of living to come down in the near future. Europeans will have to continue to struggle to pay for these necessities at a time when the overall income has stagnated. The European Commission on Thursday cut the bloc's growth forecast from 1.4% in July to 0.3%. It also revised its inflation forecast, estimating that prices would peak by the end of 2022 but continue to remain on the higher side next year. Inflation will average 9.3% in the European Union and 8.5% in the eurozone for 2022. While the consolation for Europeans is that commodity prices will fall slightly next year, inflation will continue to stick around the 7% mark. To give you a sense of how big the number is, the European Central Bank set a target of 2% for inflation in the medium term last year. This economic crisis is a result of the energy crisis Europe plunged into following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. After the move to sanction Russia and aid Ukraine backfired, energy prices went through the roof. As per Eurostat's latest estimate, energy prices in the bloc were 41.9% higher than in the same month last year. Hitting back at Europe for the sanctions, Moscow decided to cut off the vital Nord Stream pipeline. Such is the hit that the European Commission doesn't expect a recovery and has warned of a dark winter. The bloc said in a statement, the EU is among the most exposed advanced economies due to its geographical proximity to the war and heavy reliance on gas imports from Russia. The energy crisis is eroding households' purchasing power and weighing on production. You name the country, France, Germany, the Baltic nations, each one of them is struggling. Let's take France for instance. The Emmanuel Macron-led nation is under severe pressure from workers in the railways, refineries and civil society for higher wages. A 6% average inflation rate has hit the nation badly, with citizens taking to the streets of Paris to voice their anger. Even in Germany, the largest European economy is at par with the eurozone on inflation. In October, it recorded a mammoth 10.4% year-on-year inflation. With its average pegged at 8.8% for 2022, Germany is expected to be the worst performer next year with a 7.5% average inflation rate. If you think such a dire situation is only for the countries in the European Union, you are wrong. Case in point, the United Kingdom. After suffering a political crisis, the Rishi Sunak-led nation has entered what the Bank of England calls, quote-unquote, a very challenging 2-year recession. Britain's economy contracted by 0.2% between July and September this year as soaring prices hit businesses and households. Investments have dropped in the nation and key sectors like health and education are also taking a massive hit. Such a prolonged phase in the economy will eventually mean incomes falling, people losing jobs and more misery. Do you think Europe will be able to find a way out of this crisis?